Hello and welcome to Comprehension Points video Snark. I'm currently reading through The Betrothed by Kiera Cass. This is not the first video of this book, so I'd recommend that you watch the other videos before you start this. Links are posted below. Chapter 29. So the Eastoff family focuses on getting the manor ready for Hollis's and Silas's wedding in 2 weeks. They invite all of their neighbors, hang tapestries, and try to make Hollis's wedding gown. I have heard more brides are swinging towards white. It's meant to symbolize purity. So, this is a fictional world, and although nobody has quite established this time period, it still strikes me as being really historically inaccurate. First off, when Queen Victoria wore a white wedding dress, it had nothing at all to do with her status as a virgin. In the days before washing machines, people tended to just have as many clothes as they could stand to hand wash, and for poor people, that was pretty much just like 2 dresses or 2 shirts and 2 pants. So for her to have a dress that was just for her wedding and for it to be white, Queen Victoria might as well just embroidered "I'm better than you" onto the dress. People started to copy it, and for some unholy reason, white wedding dresses became the standard wedding garb. At this point, wearing white is more about fashion than anything. Purity has literally nothing to do with the white wedding dresses. But, I have a lot of hate towards the wedding industry, but none of it has anything to do with the story, so let's get back on track. Hollis thinks that wearing white following the stunt she pulled with Jameson will only open her for criticism. Lady Eastoff wonders why Hollis cares, but Hollis convinces her that she wants to wear the gold because "I'm Silas's son." Lady Eastoff thinks that it's cute and agrees that gold would be the best. Hollis then thinks about her parents. They're not far physically from there, but emotionally, they might as well be on another planet. She also thinks about how there's so much legal stuff tied to marriages, and she thinks about the damage that Delia suffered thanks to her father. But as she looks around at all the fuss being prepared for her, she feels like she's making the right choice. Lady Eastoff then brings Hollis back to the present and proposes that they mesh the 2 fashions of isolate and corona for Hollis's wedding gown. After a moment, somebody comes in and says something to Lady Eastoff, who orders that the woman be shown into the room. Hollis gets her hopes up, thinking that it's her mother, but no, Hollis doesn't know the lady at all. However, the lady knows Hollis. She says that she works at the manor, although another negative point to Hollis is that she doesn't even recognize one of her family's servants. Anyway, Hollis had gotten some letters, so the lady thought that she'd walk them over to deliver them to the rightful recipient. The first letter is from Delia. She says that she and Jameson have bonded following Hollis's sudden departure, that she's managed to calm Jameson down a lot, although he smiles a lot less. She says that there was a fire a few days after Hollis left. It was contained quickly enough, but still. A lot of people are talking about how it's where Jameson housed the people from Iceland and therefore think that Jameson himself started the fire. Delia doesn't think so, if only because the palace is his home. She goes on and says that there's a lot of rumors circulating about Hollis, ranging from how she'd been planning to run away with Silas for ages to the fact that she's pregnant and then that Hollis is a witch, because why else would Jameson have acted like that? Delia signs off by saying that she knows that she wasn't a good friend to Hollis towards the end of their relationship, which I don't think is going to make up for the awful things Delia said about Hollis. But whatever. As long as Delia never makes a physical appearance again, I don't really care. However, as Hollis puts the letter away, she can't help but note that Delia never once says anything about missing her or about wishing that Hollis would return, but Hollis isn't exactly surprised by that. The second letter is from Valentina. Hollis is confused when she starts to read it. However, as she checks the seal in the back, Hollis can't help but notice that it looks like it was broken and then resealed again. Valentina seems happy that Hollis was able to get out, but she expresses that her situation has become more dire because she's miscarried yet again, which Hollis finds insanely depressing. Valentina wishes that she was with Hollis and begs for her to write following her nuptial so that she can live vicariously through her friend. Chapter 30. I'm going to kick this chapter off with a direct quote. It seemed, despite the rumors of our leaving together, Silas was still receiving commissions. Wow, almost like a man's reputation isn't nearly half as tarnished by sticking his stuff into another woman than a woman sticking strange man's stuff into her would have her reputation ruined. Casual sexism at play here. Hollis goes to Silas while he's working. She tells him about her friendship with Valentina and how Valentina confessed a lot of hairy things to her. She tells Silas that Valentina says that she's now had 3 miscarriages, and Valentina is in fear for her very life. As such, Hollis wants to go to Iceland to comfort her friend. Silas, however, doesn't view this as being a good idea. He has to remind her that Quentin actively assassinates people who speak or act against him, and reminds both Hollis as well as the reader of Quentin's not-so-secret assassins, the Darkest Knights, and that if the Eastoff family ever went back to Iceland, they'd probably all be murdered. Hollis somehow manages to make this situation all about her, as usual, but at least she doesn't argue about the reasons he brings up. Instead, she promises to write to Valentina and offer her support in spirit, if not in person. She changes the topic and brings up how Delia mentioned that there are rumors circling the court about her upcoming marriage. Silas jokes that she should respond to Delia by saying she ran off with gypsies, but then changes his mind and says that she joined some monks, and that he could help Hollis carve a response on a rock. The chapter ends not with a letter to Delia or Valentina, but to Lord and Lady Bright. Hollis talks about how she feels like she always failed to live up to their expectations. And darn, this is hitting pretty close to home for me. I think that the worst part is Hollis feeling the need to apologize for being who she wanted to be rather than who her parents expected her to be. She goes on to say that she wouldn't have made a great queen, but she and Silas are in love, and isn't that the thing that matters? She also talks a lot about the casual racism they display towards the isolate people. She asks that they be there for her wedding in 2 days, but if not, then she'll be waiting for them whenever they're ready to make amends. She also warns that playing the court game is dangerous and most people end up in an early grave because of it. Now, I don't think that she's implying that Jameson is going to behead them or anything, but more along the lines of that it's putting a lot of unnecessary stress on people. And for what? Who wore the best frock at the ball? And it's heavy stuff, honestly. Even after her parents literally threw Hollis's things away, and she's still pining for their affection and approval. Because that's what's coming from a toxic family situation is like. Thanks for listening to my book Snark on YouTube. New videos are up every Monday. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you don't miss anything. Also, while you're waiting for the new video next week, be sure to catch up on my other video series. If you're already caught up with that, then you can head over to Tumblr for my main book, Snarks, always free and updated daily. People who support me on Patreon also have early access to my daily Snark, but also bonus Snark that isn't up anywhere else. People who donate to me either by supporting me on Patreon or by making a one-time donation via PayPal or Ko-fi also get shoutouts in my videos. Thank you so much to Dawn, Phoebe, and Nikki for supporting me already. Be sure to join my Patreon or donate to hear your name next week. Also, if you want to read some of the stuff that I've published, you can purchase my works on Amazon. I have 19 erotic short stories, 1 short story collection, and 1 full-length novel. Links for everything are posted below. See you next week, guys!